Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Before we get started, I just want to let you know about the Foot Clan. Our community at jointhefoot.com is an exclusive fantasy football community that goes year-round, and guess what? If you are missing 5 days a week of episodes as we go into the offseason, you can get an extra episode every single week just for supporting this show over at jointhefoot.com. You get community access to our Foot Clan leagues, and a ton of premium resources, giveaways, things like that. So check it out. Support the show at jointhefoot.com.
Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast, coming to you from the Redraft Studios with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in.
Yeah.
Yet another episode.
We're here.
I don't have an episode number, Brooks.
Oh.
What is this, like 520 or something like that? You have no idea.
I think 511.
Oh, okay. You do know. Ooh. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast.
511.
Find us on Twitter at the FF Ballers. Andy, Mike, and Jason joining you once again. And this is a very, very special episode. We have the Footie Award winners.
It only happens once a year.
It really does. It happens in January every year. And we had the nominations on Tuesday. Thousands of you took to the streets and voted. Took to the internet. Took to the internet and voted.
Well, maybe they could have been in the street with their cell phones voting.
We really should allow more like physical voting.
Yeah.
Get some things going.
Yeah, we have the write-ins coming.
Yeah,
I think we established
they're not counted.
on Tuesday that this was on par with the Oscars.
Yes, for
and
sure.
so especially the Best Picture is equivalent to the Nickname of the Year award. And we have all the awards. All the votes have been counted. Our volunteer staff has counted them for days now, and we have the results. They will be on this show.
If anyone is a blacksmith out there, or
a blacksmith?
Yes, a blacksmith, someone who forges metal.
You're right.
And you want to make us an actual footy trophy?
We certainly need them. We need a footy trophy. We just need
one to be symbolic to sit on the set.
Let's see.
Are any trophies being made by blacksmiths these days?
If it's a one-off.
I thought they only made weapons.
I thought they made horseshoes.
Really? Well, you can use a horseshoe as a weapon.
The horseshoe market is booming.
I always saw the footy as pretty much a Christmas stocking. It's just hanging there.
What? It's just a stocking?
I'm still picturing a blacksmith pulling out one of those little cheap golden T-ball trophies from his forge. Like, how did he manage to get that?
They're blacksmiths.
They can do anything.
Well,
they do more than swords and horseshoes.
I don't know that that's true, Mike.
They make big abstract statues as well.
Yeah, agree to disagree on this one. It's pretty much just weapons.
They're also good with
horseshoes.
They're good with a sniper rifle. If you ask Doc Brown,
who
was a blacksmith.
That's true. Well, because he was a wink blacksmith.
At some point, we should digress, right, Brooks? Back to the.
Back to football.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's what we got going on. The NFL Playoff Challenge is back. Why don't one of you guys explain what that is and how our listeners can participate with us?
Absolutely. So the NFL.com, they do a playoff challenge every single year, and we started a group. Right now, we're the number 4 group, as in 4th largest. So just head over. If you just Google NFL Playoff Challenge, it'll take you right there. Go to the groups. Click on ours. Join it.
We also tweeted the link. It's in the show description. Sure. You can find it.
And here's how you play. You pick a lineup, and you are rewarded fantasy points as they play. But here's the kicker. As the players advance through the playoffs, they get a multiplier. So next, if you pick the players from the Saints and they win, next week, their points will be worth double, so on and so forth. So if you pick teams that are in the Super Bowl, you're going to get a huge multiplier.
If you choose Rob Gronkowski this week, you get no points this week, but you'll get 2 times next week.
Exactly, because he automatically advances. And so it's very easy. If you guys are knocked out, you get to go in and pick new players. Of course, your multiplier will reset. So the optimal way to play is pick who you think will be in the Super Bowl and load up on those players.
Yeah. I mean, that's the gist. So you can check that out. Join our group.
I like my lineup.
Yeah,
it's
I know you did.
unusual.
I know. Just like you.
Yeah.
Special. A special lineup.
Wanna win it all.
The website's thefantasyfootballers.com. The community is jointhefoot.com. Guys, let's go ahead and finish off our brackets. Yesterday we went through the first round of the NFL playoffs. I figured it'd be nice to share. Everybody in the office filled out a bracket and kind of what we thought would happen. So keep it brief, Mike, but let us know what you got.
I have Kansas City advancing all the way to the championship weekend. That means
So knocking off New England.
that is correct.
Wow.
Facing up against Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. I have Atlanta and New Orleans going through to the NFC Championship game. New Orleans taking the cake for the NFC. So it's the Saints taking on Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. However, I went with Pittsburgh as the winner.
Okay.
That was my preseason call. So if those teams are in it, I feel like you got to stick with your call.
You have to.
All right, I went with New England, Pittsburgh in the AFC title game, and New England going back to the Super Bowl. And then I have the Rams actually knocking off.
Oh, you changed?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry. I
Rams
apologize.
knocked off Minnesota, and they face I have them facing New Orleans. Unfortunately, I think it's one and done for Philly. And I have
Yeah.
New Orleans going against New England, which was my preseason pick. And I have New Orleans winning the Super Bowl.
I am the only one that does not have New Orleans in the Super Bowl here, even though I would love to see that happen. But I have Minnesota beating the New Orleans Saints on the NFC Championship game, advancing to the first ever home field Super Bowl
It would be pretty sweet.
and winning the Super Bowl over the New England Chalk Patriots. My
chalk
AFC
for
bracket,
a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my AFC bracket is the chalkiest. I mean, I've got Jacksonville winning.
Is this
Pittsburgh
because
winning.
last year you had the Giants winning the Super Bowl?
It might be because I
A bit
really
of a
believe-
reaction to you were out of the bracket challenge so fast.
No, you want to know the truth. You
Game
want to know
number one.
the honest
Right.
truth.
Playoffs.
Well, last year, if you weren't around, what happened was I was really worried about the round one matchup for the Giants, but I liked how they matched up against everyone else. I thought if they could beat the Packers, they're going to win the Super Bowl. They didn't beat the Packers, so they were out. My bracket was busted. The honest truth is this. I wanted to pick the Rams to go much further
in this year's bracket.
And they are the one that I chose not to do because of the New York Giants.
So you want credit for it now, based on saying that if they do well, you want to say,
You know me well.
yeah, I know you well.
The hedge man is back.
Yeah, he's back. Hey, Judge, I want to know your Super Bowl pick. What do you got?
I've got the Patriots beating the Saints.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. So we three people like the Saints here.
I love the Saints. 4. I just didn't pick them.
I would really prefer the Saints beat the Patriots, but
But they're the Patriots.
I learned last year, don't pick against Patriots.
Preference doesn't affect the Patriots. They just do what they do. All right, let's get into the news.
News and notes from around the league.
Carson Palmer has announced his retirement from the NFL after 15 seasons.
So the final domino to fall would be Larry Fitzgerald. Now that new coach is going to be needed, a new quarterback is going to be needed. Will Larry Fitzgerald return? We'll have to keep an eye out for that.
I think he'll play.
Yeah, I was going to say from what I've heard from some of the more respected beat writers. I was listening to Kent Summers.
Kent Summers said that?
Kent Summers believes that Larry Fitzgerald will be back.
I bet he's
100-plus receptions for a third straight year, 1,000-plus yards for a third straight year. Still got it.
He's just reserving judgment to see who they bring in as the coach
Correct.
and the quarterback.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Which, if you're not aware, the Arizona Cardinal backs now have literally
Cardinal backs?
You did say
Did I?
Cardinal backs.
The
Yes, you did.
Arizona Cardinal
Well, the
backs.
Cardinals are lacking quarterbacks because they have, just like the Minnesota Vikings, they have 0 quarterbacks under contract heading into next year.
Just like we like it.
Yep.
Just go
Wildcat.
straight to DJ. All right, Shady will be a game-time decision in this week's playoff matchup. That might affect your NFL playoff challenge
You
lineups.
have to imagine.
Yeah, he's going to play.
He's going to play. How effective can he be with that ankle?
According to LaDainian Tomlinson, who dealt with the same injury, he said it's going to affect him significantly.
Rex Burkhead returned to practice. Josh Rosen declared for the draft. So did, Sam Donald?
Sam Darnold. Don Arnold.
You got that?
Sam Darnold.
Cardinal backs.
Goodness.
Darnold back.
Darnold backs.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. I need to warm up over here.
Maybe you were stumbling over your words, Mike, because your peripheral vision saw the next bit of news. That Marvin Lewis
still tilting.
has signed a 2-year extension through 2019 to continue his wonderful run.
And look,
dominance.
Here's the thing.
Of mediocrity.
Marvin Lewis.
He owns mediocrity.
Marvin Lewis is not a bad coach.
No, he's not.
He's not a bad coach. But here's the deal. You can't have that type of a run in today's NFL, keep bringing back the same pieces, and expect things to change. I mean, 0 playoff wins.
You're capped out. This team is absolutely capped out. Marvin Lewis did an excellent job resurrecting a trash franchise, and he has been rewarded way too much for that.
17 years?
Yeah, the last 5 years or so are still pats on the back for getting him out of the trash heap.
Well, and the irony here is that, from what I understand, their owner had to convince Lewis to stay and make concessions to Lewis because Lewis was going to leave.
Really?
Yeah. So the Bengals are keeping Bill Lazor at.
They really don't like to search for coaches. It's the owner's least favorite thing.
At the ZipRecruiter.
Yeah, right?
To do a bunch of work.
Offensive coordinator Bill Lazor will stay. He took over midway through the season. I will say this from a fantasy football perspective, and I told this to Mike yesterday when we were having lunch. With Lewis and Bill Lazor staying there is some stability to. You know, we talk about the offseason coaching changes, all these things that can impact an offense and what kind of offense you run. I feel like with them staying, I'd rather have the known commodity of A.J. Green and Joe Mixon, who I'm strongly considering as a keeper candidate for my team over a guy like Shady McCoy just because of the potential upside of Mixon next year as the feature back in that offense, depending on what they do with the offensive line. There's at least some predictability to what you're getting next year. And they had some good performances towards the end of the year. A couple of upset wins over in the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And, look, that could be why Marvin Lewis is even around. I mean, you did have a couple big wins, knocked Baltimore out of the playoffs. It wasn't consistent this year, but I think the stability is good for those players.
Maybe. I just like the narrative that the owner doesn't want to have to do any work.
Please don't make me do it.
Mike McCarthy was given a 1-year extension through the 2019 season. Yeah. They didn't want the lame duck coach situation. And then their offensive coordinator was fired to go with their D coordinator last week. Pete Carroll is coming back. He's going to coach again in 2018.
Oh, Peach Cobbler.
Yeah.
Peach Cobbler.
There was the rumors that he was going to bail or retire, I should say, because he is the oldest coach in the NFL. If you didn't realize,
he doesn't act like it.
I like that your thought is he's going to bail.
Well, here's the thing:
kind of has a history
Pete
of leading
Carroll,
the sinking ship.
When you have bailed on a team that was
captain goes first,
headed into the dumpster,
women and children second.
That sticks with you. Yeah, he's the guy on the Titanic who
only me in this boat.
Grabs the dress and the wig. He's like, oh, let me in. I'm Pete Carroll. I mean, Peachy Cobbler. But so it would not have shocked me if he felt that the Seahawks were in trouble because they're going to be in some trouble on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
figuring out contracts and everything.
You're not wrong. All right, the Broncos are keeping their offensive coordinator in place.
Here I come.
Bill Musgrave, he's going to stay. He's going to stay there, and they got to find a quarterback too. All right, I think it's time. You guys ready to get into it? It's time for the Footies, the 2017 Footie Award winners, brought to you by the Fantasy Footballers fans.
And blacksmiths everywhere.
Oh, yes, a special thank you to the blacksmiths who are going to make that trophy.
Special thank you to everybody who voted for the 2017 Footies, the Fantasy Football Awards. It's been a wonderful season, and I am exceptionally excited. Exceptionally excited.
Is the music getting louder?
Oh, not loud enough.
Here's the
You've
deal.
got to redo this with a little duck in it, Mike.
You can manually turn your volume down. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Ah,
Hey.
Oh, that's nice.
Look, Foot Clan, we know there's a lot of fantasy football awards out there, but there's only one that matters.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the Oscars. There's plenty of there's all sorts
best
of awards for
foreign
movies.
film.
No,
But-
but he's saying like there's the
but
SAG
there's only-
awards.
Oh,
Right.
I've got you. Yeah.
But there's only one Oscars, and
Yeah.
there's only one award
Footy.
show that matters. You're listening to it. Congrats on your life.
to you. Performance of the year. Which single week performance was the most impressive of the year? The nominees were Julio Jones, Todd Gurley in week 15 and 16. So that was Julio week 12 with 12, 253 and 2. Couple of Todd Gurley playoff performances. Kareem Hunt's week 1, which was so impressive. And then Amari Cooper. And now the winner of
Oh, do we have a drum roll?
we sure do.
Oh, very nice.
The winner of the performance of the year is
Todd Gurley, week 15.
It was close.
I was surprised.
152 and 3, and then another touchdown through the air, narrowly beating Kareem Hunt's week 1.
Yeah, I was surprised with that Kareem Hunt was so close, but you have to go Todd Gurley. I mean, week 15 coming through when you really need it. I have no problem with this.
Out of the
with this award.
3,228 votes, Amari Cooper received 36
Yeah,
votes,
and
so he should feel
It's,
good.
it's
There
about
are-
35 too many.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a couple people out there that should feel ashamed of themselves, but we still appreciate you
That's
listening.
the total amount of people that played Amari Cooper that week.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, I remember that week was awesome.
So you have the results up, Jason, so you're able to deliver the winners?
I do have the results up.
Okay.
Andy,
Yes.
I remember that Todd Gurley performance quite well.
Oh,
Do you?
Yeah.
You and Mike should remember both of those weeks quite well.
Oh, I remember week 15 because I had Todd Gurley and then I lost.
Yeah,
Oh.
and then you remember week 16 because
Yeah,
I had
some
Todd
effort.
Gurley and you lost.
Yeah, a lot of losing.
All right, question 2. This was a runaway. Fantasy Reapers Man of the Year. Which player's painful injury hurt fantasy owners the very most? And the nominees were David Johnson, Andrew Luck, Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham Jr., Deshaun Watson, and Dalvin Cook. And the winner is
David Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
It was a bad year for David Johnson. Runaway winner. The second place finisher was Deshaun Watson, and he had about 10% of the
I feel like that was kind of the bigger question for this. Who would be second place? Because when the 101 goes down halfway
Through the first
week
game.
1, it's devastating to your team.
when the 101 goes down, people like me cry.
Yes.
Who traded everything for
Oh,
it.
I remember.
63% of the vote.
The Andrew Holloway tilt after just
yeah.
searching for news.
I was going to say it's denial first, for sure.
Is the volume all the way back up, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, you're good.
I want to
we're
feel
good.
I want to feel the drum
This is
roll.
a top-notch production. We said Oscar levels. But, yeah, David Johnson, the runaway there.
All right.
Question 3, the poopiest pants award.
Oscar levels.
Thank you, Brooks. Thank you
All
for
right.
remembering that. Despite high expectations, this player let fantasy owners down over and over again. Amari Cooper, DeMarco Murray, Jordy Nelson, Jay Ajayi, and Terrell Pryor were the nominees, and this was a close one.
It was. Terrell Pryor.
You don't get caught up in the
Dumpster fire.
nice one.
Terrell Pryor with 34% of the vote.
Narrowly edging out Amari Pooper himself.
Yeah, we almost had to rename the segment. Of course, when we threatened that, that's when
When he
that's
played
the
well.
big performance happened.
That's when he didn't coop in his
Yeah.
pants.
Nope.
34% of the vote to Terrell Pryor. Amari Cooper with 27%. DeMarco Murray was third. And then Jordy Nelson and Jay Ajayi were tied for last on that one.
It's funny. I feel like people the trade of Jay Ajayi to Philadelphia kind of washed out how bad the beginning of the season was for Jay Ajayi. Like, people forget you drafted him really high, and he was massively disappointing. I mean,
That's fair.
Jordy has just a couple fewer votes than him, but I mean, he's almost in last place.
Jordy had more of a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Jay Ajayi had Smoking Jay Cutler on his team.
And so did Kenyon Drake. He was fine.
That's a fair point.
Thank you.
A fair point.
All right, the fourth award is for the Waiver Wire Wonder Award. Which undrafted waiver wire stud was the best signing of 2017? The nominees were Jamal Williams, Robbie Anderson, Alex Collins, Chris Thompson, Devin Funchess, and Jerick McKinnon, and the winner of the Waiver Wire Wonder Award.
Yes!
Robbie Anderson.
Yes!
Your footy is in the mail.
America, you got it right.
Talk about Robbie Anderson for a minute, and going forward as well.
Going forward is a little bit more difficult because we don't know who the quarterback will be. The Jets have talked about bringing Josh McCown back, and that's when Robbie Anderson was on his tear. But when he came on, I'm pulling up the game logs right now just so I can absolutely get it right. But he had a stretch of 5 weeks where he scored at least one touchdown and 2 in 1, multiple games over 100 yards in the middle of the season when Josh McCown and Robbie Anderson really got it going. He was so dominant, and he was completely free. This was a guy we had talked about in the offseason as a late round. You should pick him up and see what happens. Unfortunately, it did take him a while to really get going. But once he was hitting, I mean, he's 6'3", and he's fast. And I really like Robbie Anderson. I thought that this was the clear choice.
Yeah, he won with 41% of the vote. The next closest was Alex Collins.
That's Jason's guy.
Yeah.
Running back for the Baltimore Ravens.
I was really surprised how landslide this was because I didn't know who. Like, usually I look at an award, it's like, oh, this guy's clearly going to win. And here
I think Chris Thompson would have won this award without the injury.
Absolutely. He was a top 5 running back. The thing about Robbie Anderson, though, is I don't know if you felt the impact because did you have Robbie Anderson anywhere?
I had no shares of Robbie
Anderson. That's
Anderson.
why. I had him in multiple places, and I mean, completely turned around my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. It's time for the Fantasy Wide Receiver of the Year. The candidates were DeAndre Hopkins, Antonio Brown, Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Larry Fitzgerald, and Adam Thielen. Now, for all of these positional awards, we asked you to factor in draft position, big game performances, and impact to fantasy teams everywhere. The winner of the Fantasy Wide Receiver of the Year, very deserving.
Yes. No surprise, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes. Unbelievable season. Unbelievable.
A tale of redemption for both DeAndre Hopkins and Todd Gurley this year. Fantasy darlings at one point, and then not so much. And with 46% of the vote, he beat out Adam Thielen, who was 20%. Thielen ended the year a little bit slow. That probably hurt him a little bit. And then Antonio Brown, followed by Keenan Allen, Larry Fitzgerald, and Tyreek Hill.
The one that's shocking to me, I guess it should not be shocking, is because once again, the lack of fantasy respect for Mr. Larry Fitzgerald, who was a strong wide receiver one, was put up many dominant performances, was great, and where was Larry drafted? Are we talking 6th or 7th round?
Yeah, about 6th round.
I mean, I believe Thielen was after him, but still, Larry was sensational.
I want to talk about DeAndre Hopkins.
All right.
We've said several times, we said it on the Footcast yesterday, Mike. Look, he is deserving of very, very high consideration at the wide receiver position.
Yes.
But where do you really think he belongs in both redraft and dynasty formats? Because DeAndre Hopkins has a quarterback in Deshaun Watson, whereas Odell Beckham Jr. really, maybe Eli comes back for a year, and that's fine. I like the situation for Hopkins at quarterback better. Hopkins is 25, Antonio Brown is 29. Julio Jones, maybe the expectations get adjusted for him in dynasty leagues now. Where does Hopkins actually belong? Because between talent, opportunity, what he did this past year, age, quarterback, Bill O'Brien coming back, can you consider DeAndre Hopkins for the number 1 wide receiver?
I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think
absolutely.
in a dynasty league, you can consider DeAndre Hopkins for the number one overall. I mean, usually it is a wide receiver. I think he might be the most valuable asset with his age and everything you just laid out. I mean, the only guy that I would consider up there would be Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell Beckham was the 101 for the last couple years.
And the issue there, as you pointed out, is who's his quarterback? Who's his quarterback long term, even if Eli comes back for a year? Maybe they grab a superstar quarterback this year in the draft, and things are great for longer.
They have
but
the
you're
number 2
taking
pick.
A gamble. You don't know that. I didn't think Deshaun Watson was going to be anything special in the NFL, and he is. So you have to wait and see how those, if they draft a quarterback with the number 2, there's no guarantee that it's a good enough quarterback to keep Odell Beckham as a complete superstar.
And they're just set up for such success with Will Fuller on the other side of the field, because you have the perfect balance. And Will Fuller's under contract for at least 2 years. They'll have the 5th-year option possibility with him because he was a first-round pick. So Hopkins is looking set up for at least 3 years of dominance.
Elite play.
Yes. And, I mean, he's only, like you said, 25.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
same age as Odell Beckham Jr., for the record. Fantasy Running Back of the Year award. The nominees were Todd Gurley, of course, Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, and Mark Ingram. And the winner, no surprise, but a worthwhile fight, one of them.
Todd Gurley. Yes, it was Todd Gurley. It was a two-man race.
Voldemort.
Le'Veon Bell, Kareem Hunt, and Mark Ingram combined for about 5% of the vote. Everybody out there voting was either Alvin Kamara or Todd Gurley. And
Gurley found a Horcrux and was reborn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Named Sean McVay.
Alvin Kamara, though, very close. Very close in that running.
Because the thing about Gurley is
you paid for
you
it.
paid that second-round pick. I mean, you were absolutely rewarded for your courage and your just standing by Todd Gurley after a really, really down year. But Kamara was free. We had people who were saying, wow, why is Kamara not available in the waiver wire wonder section? Kamara was drafted. And we know that the owner who probably benefited the most from Kamara did pick him up off the waivers, but he was drafted in the majority of leagues.
It's great that Gurley, Hunt, Kamara, and Ingram, 4 of the 5 nominees, were propped up pretty big on this show early in the offseason because
to be fair, we did prop up Le'Veon Bell too.
Well, certainly. But my point being that if you ended up with Hunt or Kamara late in the draft, Hunt was going in the 4th. If you stole him or you stole Kamara late, you probably ended up in a really, really safe position.
Yeah. Because
you just have to hit on one later running back like that, and it's a home run. So, Fantasy Tight End of the Year. Now, I want to tell you, I was a little bit surprised with these results. I understand them, but I'll tell you why in a minute. The nominees were Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, Evan Ingram, and Jimmy Graham.
Zach Ertz.
Now, I'm not surprised that Zach Ertz won this award. What I am surprised about is that he won it with 56% of the vote. Next closest was 17% with Rob Gronkowski, and then Kelce close behind. Now, this was an example of the Robbie Anderson thing you just talked about. I actually had no shares of Zach Ertz in any league. Not on purpose, just ended up that way.
Right.
And so I didn't feel the impact of Zach Ertz, especially early in the season. I did have some shares of Rob Gronkowski. I thought Gronkowski would push Ertz for this award, but Ertz ran away with it.
Yeah.
Draft position.
As he should have.
It's the draft position of you took him in the 8th round compared to Gronk in the back of the 2nd. To get an 8th round tight end that you put in your lineup and you don't even think about streaming tight end while the rest of us strap on our waders and head into the sewers because that's where tight ends belong these past couple seasons. It's a huge advantage. So this does not shock me at all.
And if you think about the draft season, I mean, Zach Ertz was one of It was definitely, as far as tight ends go, the guy we were recommending.
Well, it's all
far
about value
more than
there.
anybody.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the Foot Clan out there making these votes, they experience Zach Ertz. There's a lot of Zach Ertz
That makes
shares
sense.
owned out there.
Where does Ertz go in
Oh.
next year's draft?
Does he go above Kelsey in next year's draft? 'Cause I don't think he does.
No.
Wow, it wouldn't shock me
Unless
if he
there's a
does.
quarterback change for Kansas City.
I mean, man, it's.
I think he's
Are
Yeah,
they
I
both?
think
Are they
Zach
both
Ertz will go
third-round picks?
Too high.
Fourth-round picks?
third round.
Third round, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going third round, and I think it'll go
Gronk will go above all of them still.
Yes.
Yes, but I think it will go Gronk Ertz.
Okay. We'll find out.
Yep.
Fantasy quarterback of the year. The nominees were Russell Wilson, Alex Smith, Cam Newton, Carson Wentz, and Deshaun Watson. The winner for fantasy quarterback of the year, the Footie.
Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
the people miss you.
Yeah,
The people.
Get well, my friend.
The people are me. The people are me in my dynasty league, in my keeper league. I miss you.
You didn't miss him.
That's true. I did.
That's
I
true.
did
You
beat
did win
you
the
with
championship.
one of these other guys, Alex Smith.
Yes.
Carson Wentz took the first place prize. The Footie went to Carson Wentz. Deshaun Watson. Oh, I'm sorry. Russell Wilson was second. Deshaun Watson was third, and Alex Smith was fourth.
I'm a bit surprised at the vote turnout for Cam Newton at under 2% of the vote when he was also a late round quarterback.
He was, but if I had to tell you why, it just has to do with the fact that it seems like each of those other four players had a specific run that you really, really felt in fantasy. Where Wilson,
Inconsistent of
yeah,
Cam Newton.
Newton was really good, but it was more sporadic. Whereas Wilson had a really strong run. Alex Smith, the beginning of the season was incredible. Carson Wentz towards the end, the efficiency, and Deshaun Watson had his fire streak. So that would be my guess.
Yeah, I think you're dead on this.
So we are. Don't forget, the Nickname of the Year award is coming.
You can't.
But we're doing it at the very end.
Yes.
Very special. So this award, this Footie, goes to the Breakout Player of the Year. Which player broke out? Which won this award? It was a landslide for the Breakout Player of the Year.
We'll give the nominees.
And the nominees were Carson Wentz, Adam Thielen, Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, and Zach Ertz.
Oh, the winner is a clear-cut Alvin Kamara. If you're looking at
Super.
if you're looking at the
Camario.
chart the way I'm looking at the chart, oh, Alvin Kamara,
That's the
he's
chart.
right there in the middle.
It's invincible.
It just looks like a big middle finger. Be like, this is my award.
It does look like that.
We got to tweet that picture out. I mean, he just won.
I think we can do that. I think we can make that happen. Turn that chart sideways, Brooks.
Alvin
Think of the children.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
put a little PG-13 thing on there. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, 66% of the vote. Next closest was 12% with Adam Thielen.
Might as well get to this next one.
The Rookie of the Year.
Give the nominees. Give the nominees.
The nominees for the Footie for Rookie of the Year was Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Evan Ingram, Deshaun Watson, and Cooper
Oh, no.
Kupp.
Oh.
The winner.
Well, it's Alvin Kamara again.
69% of the vote. Poor Cooper Kupp had 8 votes total.
Oh,
That
he
was
did. That's-
Cooper, his mom, his dad, his grandma, his grandpa.
Oh.
And congratulations, Alvin Kamara, with the back-to-back Footies. Those are in the mail, of course.
You know what that means? Cooper Kupp is just going to be a sensational value
Can you
pick
get-
next year.
Can you get drop shipping from blacksmiths?
I
Could we
believe
get
so.
that? Can we get blacksmithing?
Yeah.
Do they drop ship to these award winners?
Yeah, they're in the mail.
Yeah. Yes, sure.
The comeback player of the year. Which fantasy player amazed you the most in their return to relevance? The nominees were Todd Gurley, DeAndre Hopkins, Cam Newton, Keenan Allen, and Alex Smith. I'm surprised by the gap here.
I am too. That's the winner is Todd Gurley, but I would have thought that DeAndre Hopkins
I would have thought they were closer, but
shocked
Gurley ran
me.
away with it.
Yes.
4 times as many votes as DeAndre Hopkins.
I think the reason is just because the amount of fantasy points Todd Gurley put up this year, won people championships. You felt it, but DeAndre Hopkins is more surprising. Like Gurley, I wasn't where Andy was, just absolutely saying, "Look, it's happening. The comeback will be here this year." But you could see the argument for it. You're getting a new coordinator. Jeff Fisher's out of town. The offensive line
upgrade
got
with
better. There was plenty of reason to go. Todd Gurley could bounce back. But on DeAndre Hopkins' side, I didn't think it was going to happen because you have a new incoming rookie and trash at the quarterback
Trash
position.
Savage.
And even Trash Savage. Ooh, early 2018 nickname of the year, Trash Savage. But the thing is even when Watson went down, Hopkins was great, and he was great with Trash Savage and with TJ Trash. That's all I can do.
All right.
The T, of course, sounds for trash.
The next footy is for
Trash Jay Yates.
The next footy is for the steal of the draft. Which player was the absolute best value based on their 2017 average draft position? The nominees were all steals. Alvin Kamara, Marvin Jones Jr., Larry Fitzgerald, Zach Ertz, Evan Ingram, Carson Wentz, and Adam Thielen. But the winner, once again, of this footy for steal of the draft goes to
Eat that star.
Alvin Kamara. Once again,
Your footy is in the mail.
it's in the mail.
Alvin, you're only getting one. We're just gonna put all the names, all the awards on it. We
One
can't
trophy, three plaques. We can't afford. You know how expensive it is
Yes.
to get a blacksmith to do
Blacksmiths
these?
are so
These are like
pricey.
$18,000 each.
And the shipping. I mean, they weigh 500 pounds.
Right.
Hopefully
They're made of horseshoes, by the way.
Yeah, that's the only thing they know how to make. That and weapons, and we thought weapons would be too bad for
Dangerous.
shipping.
Well, you can't ship them.
No, it's very difficult. You got to go pick up the weapons yourself.
Oh, goodness. All right. We are about to the pinnacle event here, the nickname of the year. But before we get there, this one was tight, guys.
It was actually the tightest race of all of them.
Let's
I'm
put it
shocked.
this way. The winner had 33.94% of the vote, and the dead last was 32.89% of the vote.
Oh, man.
This is for the
Razor's
guest
edge.
host of the year, the best fill-in whenever Andy, Mike, or Jason were out of the studio. I got to be honest, I'm surprised, but I'm pleased. Jay Grizz!
Hey! Yeah, your footy is here.
A big cardboard bear wins this one again.
You
I am
live here.
surprised. I am surprised. I am happy. I am excited. And I am going.
His footy can be made out of weapons because we can pick that up.
Sure. What the thing I'm excited for is what kind of tweet will Jay Grizz send out to accept his award at Jay Grizz FFL if you want to get in on that action.
Yes.
I believe he's on Team Followback as well. So if you just want to add a follower, follow Jay Grizz.
Without further ado,
Oh,
it is
here
time
we are!
for the nickname of the year.
I see the lights. They're bright. Oh,
Now, a reminder to everybody. Our nickname T-shirt will be coming out in the next month with all the 2017 nicknames. That will be the
Nicknames.
third season of the nickname T-shirt.
yes.
Nicknames like Devin S. Scrumptious, Smash Jackson, Kenny G, Tomb Raider, Baby Hands, Smooches, Super Camario, Krampus, Marquise Greatwin, King, Godfrey, Mr. Necessary, Mr. Very Necessary. That's all I could get through.
The winner.
Oh, no. We got Where's the Beef?
You also have Trail Pryor.
Oh, yeah. Painbot. Samaje P. Ryan.
Tevin Coleman.
Blake the Snake. And Jason's
I'm waiting for the first name here.
Ricky Seals Jones.
It's something in your eyes when you do that seal noise that is identical to a seal receiving a fish.
I will say this.
I mean,
I will say this. I was so thrilled with the amount of votes that Ricky Seals Jones
And on the complete
received.
opposite side of the spectrum, I was so disappointed
Agreed.
with the amount of votes that the obnoxious seal noise has garnered.
here's how I'm going to break this one down for you. I'm going to give you the bottom results real quick. The lowest vote of all was Painbot with Samaje P. Ryan.
That's more disappointing.
And then Mr. Necessary and Mr. Very Necessary received
They split the vote.
very few votes. Tomb Raider, very few. But the winner. Now, this was close.
you got to go 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
That's how I would do this.
Okay. All right.
Third place, second place.
Third place, baby hands.
Oh, Jack
Doyle himself. It's in the mail, of course.
Well, and it's very small
Your
because
third place footy.
Right.
his little baby hands could not possibly
No,
hold.
wait, no.
Does this mean he has baby feet? Like the little footy coming is.
No, I'm talking about the Blacksmith Trophy.
All right,
Jason.
The second place, with 20% of the vote, was Super
Oh, you did not win another one.
Kamaria.
Alvin, you were so
your
close.
footy is not in the mail.
No. Well, it is.
And
You
the
won a lot.
winner of the 2017, I didn't know who was going to win.
I didn't
But
either.
the winner of the 2017 footy for nickname of the year is Devin S. Scrumptious. Congratulations to Devin S. Scrumptious himself. I am shocked and amazed. I am happy
It's a great choice.
that everyone out there is are buffoons like us.
Yeah, certainly. And
So Devin Funchess walks away with the award. Honestly, I would tag him with this one. This is a very exciting event in his life.
yeah, we await your speech, Devin, and we'll retweet that.
Yeah.
All right. Those were the 2017 footies. Brooks, make sure that these results get out there to the world. Can you do that for us?
They'll be everywhere.
Everywhere. Thank you. We do have a very exciting video coming out as well. We had some fun a few weeks back, and we did a little dad jokes video. And that's going to be hitting the airwaves very soon. So if you don't subscribe on YouTube, get over to YouTube. Get your act together.
Yeah, fix your life.
No disrespect, but if you don't go over there,
You're an idiot.
no, that's very.
Okay.
That's a lot of
that's
disrespect.
disrespectful. Yeah, I'm
But
sorry.
no, go check it out. We'll tweet it. We'll post it on jointhefoot.com, and you can find it on YouTube. So we are going to jump into the Foot Clan for a few minutes this morning. Mike,
into the
are you ready to rumble? Did I say jump into the Foot Clan?
You did.
I meant the mailbag.
I'm jumping into the Foot Clan.
Scary.
Mailbag.
I would feel bad for the Foot Clan. No offense.
If I jump, yeah,
man.
no, I know.
That-
I can't
Crowd surf?
crowd surfing.
That reminds me of me and the family. We sat down. We were watching this a science series on Netflix called Forces of Nature, right? And it's excellent. It's
It's about
very well
Todd
done.
Gurley?
Am I one of them?
No, but what your crowd surfing comment reminded me. There is a country, I cannot remember the name of it, but they have a contest
Constantinople.
where they bring, like dozens and dozens of people, and the entire goal is to create a human tower as tall as you possibly can. So you're talking like 50 people all group into a circle to secure the base, and then they just start standing on top of each other, and they put children at the very top because they are the lightest. And you're talking like
That's
5 people
scary.
high, and you see these towers just collapsing over and over. And it's incredible.
Wow.
But they do this every year, and it's a source of great pride for them. You should check it out. I'll try and figure out where it takes place, but it's Forces of Nature on Netflix.
I had turned the volume up for the
Yeah.
for the mailbag,
Oh,
and
makes
then I hit
sense.
the panic alarm.
No, if you see the footage of these children
a
falling
full volume
from
panic alarm.
30 feet into the air onto just humans.
Not good.
It's incredible.
Yeah, well, I'll check it out, Mike. I'll check
All right.
out Forces of Nature. All right, for the mailbag, don't forget you can send us a question on the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. You can also leave us a voicemail, 302-464-TFFB. Our first question today is a voicemail question.
Hey, Ballers. This is Austin from Armada, Michigan. I had a quick question. After the whole season wrapped up, what's your guys' reaction to my guys you picked at the start of the season now that we have 2017 behind us? So I'd love to get your take on what guys you put your chips on and how you feel about everything.
Yeah. Well, let's rehash.
I love this question.
Yeah, I'm glad we love this question.
Yeah, it is. It's always a scary one whenever you're picking the my guys because your flag is planted, you get associated with them, and like I had some flack recently. One of my 3 my guys is Dak Prescott, And a lot of people were let down towards the end of the season. I still really like. I mean, if I went into the draft,
started fantastic for Dak.
Well, he finished the season as a top 10 quarterback, and he was drafted in the double-digit round.
He would have finished your season for you.
Well, I mean,
before the playoffs, so if he was still your quarterback.
I had plenty of Dak out there, and I mean, by the time he stunk, you replaced him. It was nice because there were reasons to replace him.
Mike had Martavis Bryant, Michael Crabtree, Stephon Diggs.
So I feel clearly Martavis was very disappointing, and
Crabtree and Diggs were both good.
Yes,
Diggs was a little strange of a year.
Yeah, so was Crabtree, but I mean they're both wide receiver 2 guys. I think Crabtree might have finished slightly outside because of things that no one foresaw coming, as in he just stopped playing. He basically quit on the team, or the team quit on him, one of the two. So the final 2 weeks of the season were just non-existent for Crabtree. But, solid wide receiver 2 guys that you got in the middle rounds, I'm very happy with them.
Jason, you ended up with Mark Ingram.
Oh, I love it.
The RB6, Zach Ertz, who fresh footy winner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Dak Prescott. I mean, Ingram couldn't have turned out better.
I feel so vindicated by that.
Adrian Peterson leaving town and Ingram taking over.
Yeah. I mean, he was a top 10 running back now 3 years in a row that was going in the 5th round because everyone thought Adrian Peterson was going to, take over.
He ended up RB6. Zach Ertz ended up tight end 3.
You know who ended up RB1?
Todd Gurley.
One of your guys.
Yeah, I had Todd Gurley, Cam Newton, and, unfortunately, Krampus.
Can't win them all.
Doug Martin. But Todd Gurley ended up RB1. Cam Newton ended up QB5, just behind Carson Wentz. And then Krampus ended up running back 790. But no, Doug Martin, his season never came. It never got going. It never got going. He
well, the 1 week, week 5.
Oh, that was
or was
the
it week 5 or week 6? Whatever. It was
my week.
That was great.
But overall, out of those 9 my guys, a lot of success there. So I feel good about it. Hopefully they pay it off for you guys out there. All right, this next one comes in from Tyler in Baton Rouge. He says, first, #FootClan title.
Nice.
In my big money league, I went into week 17, the finals, down by 27 points. I came back to win by a 40-point margin thanks to your advice and a little luck. I even managed to talk the league into finishing in week 16 next year.
Yes.
That's almost as good as the championship. Championship's still better, but
that's like a double championship.
If you're going to finish out your week 17s, your league's week 17, finish it with a title and then move to week 16.
Does that mean that he needs to get 2 trophies from Fantasy Champs? Just one for like a week, like a week 17 is dead trophy? I'm gonna talk to those guys, see if they can change their trophies, make a week 17 is dead trophy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This one comes in from Oliver in Houston. He says, with Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon playing well this season, will Dalvin Cook still be the feature back next year?
Yes.
Yes, because as well as both of those guys played, Dalvin Cook was still immensely better than what they were doing.
All right.
Also, Jerick McKinnon, free agents,
yes,
if I recall correctly.
He is. Jake in Buffalo, who is the better keeper for next year? Keenan Allen in the 3rd round or Dalvin Cook in the 4th round?
Oh, that's a really good
PPR.
question.
In a PPR league, I will take Dalvin Cook.
In a full PPR, I'm going to take Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen in the 3rd. I mean, he was a top 5 wide receiver. In a PPR, he's even better. And I'm more.
That's not true, is it?
What?
Yes, it is. I apologize.
Keenan Allen was, dude.
He's one of those guys where the very end of the year too. Like, let's put it this way: he had 3 double-digit games through week 10, and then he went insane.
Yeah, it took a while.
I mean, 34, 30, 20, 14, 7, 8, 30.
Yeah,
it took a while.
The final rank surprised me because I was thinking those 10 weeks would define him. Those last 6 weeks defined him.
Yeah, I had a lot of Keenan shares, so I remember those 6 weeks well.
Yeah, it was a slow start for Keenan Allen, but then he went, you got to catch them all.
Yeah.
Basically.
Got to catch them all.
I mean, he went full Pokemon.
Yes, he did.
But the only reason I would lean Keenan Allen is just the injury. If we knew that Dalvin Cook was...
You mean the only reason you would... Oh, really? Because of Dalvin Cook's injury? It's funny because Keenan's always hurt.
Fair.
So I think both have that risk, so I take the better more important position in the fourth. That's the avenue I would take.
I don't blame you. It's definitely a
tough.
close call.
Jeremy in Redwood City, guess who has the 12th most rushing yards this year?
Of course he does. Is it Frank Gore?
It's Frank Gore.
Of course.
Wow.
And through will, through determination, and just pure anger. Because
For old man strength.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't tackle me.
Well, you could. You could actually tackle him quite easily.
For some reason, I feel like the personality of Frank Gore versus the personality of Chuck Pagano. Like Pagano, I feel like told Gore, "You're out," and Marlon Mack's in, and then Gore's like, he walks by and goes, "No, I'm in the game," and then Pagano goes, okay. Chris in Montreal. I need to keep one player out of the following: Josh Gordon or T.Y. Hilton.
Ooh.
Not sure if Andrew Luck will be the same, and Gordon could be better if the Browns draft a quarterback. This is an interesting question.
The Browns will draft a quarterback. Just saying that's locked.
I assume that will happen. I don't think that's locked. But if they grab the best quarterback out there, I don't think this is close. To me, it's T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton has proven himself year after year after year to be a great wide receiver with Andrew Luck.
Okay.
And so, you could question maybe Andrew Luck won't be back, but I don't see that happening. So I'm going to take T.Y. Hilton here.
I would lean T.Y. Hilton as well, just believing that
I'm gonna make it a clean sweep, and it's not really just based on that. It's based on the fact that when I face decisions of whether I want to acquire Josh Gordon in our dynasty league or another league, I still have the fear hanging over my head that I'm going to trade an asset for Josh Gordon, and he's going to be suspended again.
Yeah, he's got
and
one strike.
Yeah, there are players that, if he's done in the NFL if anything happens again, and there are players that come with that risk, and I'm just not comfortable yet.
Yeah, you can't ignore it. That would be unwise.
Yeah. So, all right, that is it for today's episode. I do want to remind you, if you are a champion, if you have a league, if you're a commissioner, hit fantasychamps.com up and grab yourself a sweet piece of hardware. They've got rings, they've got belts, they've got trophies, all of them custom metal engraved.
Yeah, they're doing work over there. I actually stopped by the
facility.
I stopped by the facility yesterday and watched them making this stuff. There's some high quality stuff going on over there. You have to. Foot Clan, if you're getting trophies,
just build it into your routine every year.
It has to be Fantasy Champs.
You need a trophy for your league, and then you need another award for the individual winner so that they have something to boast about. That's what we always talk about. How do you make a great league?
Yeah.
You need people that are invested. You need a league that's invested. And most of you have leagues that have buy-ins. Have everybody put an extra $2 in and be able to get a ring for the winner. Have everybody put another $5 in, get a trophy. It doesn't take much to upgrade your league, and that's what we're talking about with fantasychamps.com. Use the promo code BALLERS, and you'll save some money, and it'll let you know we sent you over to them.
These next episodes coming up, I don't know if you can handle it.
So truthy.
Because there's
very nice, Mike. I liked it.
And check out draft.com/ballers.
Can we get Jack Nicholson on the show?
You can already play best ball, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.